All right, what's going on, guys? We are two diabetics on a trail. Sounds like a YouTube series. And others. I'm gonna go ahead and start this video. They're my family, so they're more than just others. I'm gonna start this video before I get too winded, because we are hiking up a steep path. As you can tell, different environment than normal. You got Big Bear Lake right there. It's beautiful. A little bit chilly today. Hiking through some snow-covered trails. We're gonna look at our blood sugars, see what we can expect, and get as much of a view as we can. So we follow the leader, the dog, leading the way with the mama. So, preparing for a hike. Going into this, I was low for about an hour. Not low, but a little bit low. It's in the 70s. I think lowest I got was 70. As a result, had a bunch of snacks. I chose, I'm already getting winded. I chose the more delicious side of the snacks that are higher in fat, higher in protein, which I didn't think I was gonna be going on this hike immediately, so it wasn't as much of a priority. But of course, it took longer for those sugars to impact my blood sugar. And as a result, get the snow in there. As a result, it took a lot longer for the sugar to impact, so I kept eating. Made a rookie mistake there. Ooh, now it's all snow. And as a result, it took me quite some time to get my blood sugars up, but now they're climbing nicely. Last I checked, they were slanted up at 137. Perfect for a good hike. This one, a little lower than I am. She's a brave soul. She started our hike off at 88, 83, arrow down on her Dexcom. She's a trooper. She grabbed the juice, had a pancake, some tangerines, and we're gonna see how it goes. So hopefully my blood sugars stabilize and smooth out. I'm anticipating they're gonna end around 100-ish after a hike. Hers, we're hoping they come up a little bit, right? And with the food that she ate, I'm anticipating she's gonna spike and then stop probably 110-ish, because we're exerting a lot of energy. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, catch my breath, and we'll see you guys a little bit later on the trail. Alrighty, so we've kind of found what looks like the peak. And for some reason there's no snow on the peak, but there is snow below. Not really sure how that works, but I'm gonna navigate these rocks and not fall while I'm talking to you guys, so I can give you a sweet view. Here we go. Whew, look at that. Make sure I don't die. So we got the lake here, Big Bear Lake. We got right about there is the mountain we're gonna be snowboarding on tomorrow. And right there, we got the troopers. Everybody's hiking. Top of the mountain. Let's see what the blood sugars are at. How you doing, Kron?
78.
Oh, I just broke my pump. That's cool. My clip just fell off. I'm 153, so I didn't stabilize as fast as I thought I would, but it's looking good. You said you're 76?
Yeah.
Still dropping fast?
No, it's leveled out.
Yes.
I think.
Cool, cool.
Wow.
So, top of the summit, not a super long hike, but giving us the opportunity to kind of test out our estimates of how much food we needed. And I had a little bit too much, so lesson to learn. I should have just had something that had sugar in it and get out of that low. And now I'm seeing a little bit of a delayed rise, but it looks like at 153 it's probably about to stabilize and stay where I want it to, which is sweet. And we'll catch you guys on the way down. Maybe Carl and I will have to do a little episode together on different ways that we approach diabetes. She's got some great strategies that I haven't even used yet. She keeps her life very busy as an ICU nurse, doing crazy stuff, saving people's lives while living with diabetes. So this is what we're looking at. We're gonna hang out and enjoy the view. We'll catch with you guys in a second. Misty, hi. What's up?
To hear his perspective.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna show you how my pump just broke and how I'm gonna fix it on the fly. Alright, so pump didn't break, I misspoke. The pump clip snapped off. And I wanted to show you guys an idea that my sister had that's gonna save the day. It's also getting really hot, so I'm taking that off. So, on the back of my pump, if you guys can see this little clip snapped off because it's years old and it's expected over time. And I was about ready to toss it. I was like, you know, I don't have a pump case for snowboarding tomorrow. That's a bummer. What I'm gonna do instead, see if I can get in close to this. That one broke for the horizontal layout we still have the vertical option. So what I'm gonna do is just clip this right in the vertical, and it should work. I can't drop it because there's a bunch of rocks. There we go. So now it's a vertical holster. Got it fixed. Just gotta make sure I'm aware of that. I don't know if you guys can see my waist right now, but make sure it gets on there. Good to go. So now we have the layout of the pump. The day is saved. Carlin saved me. Thank you for your brilliant idea. I was about ready to go get a new pump holster, but we're good to go. So now we're gonna get into more active snowboarding. I have full confidence my pump's not gonna fall off and land on the slope somewhere and rip out. It's good to go. So now we're gonna head back down the mountain and get ready for lunch, I guess. We'll see you guys there. All right, guys, I wanted to give you kind of a wrap up as we're headed back down the mountain. Woo, it's icy. So real quick, things that can impact your blood sugars. We know about carbs, fats, proteins, exercises, all sorts of stuff, right? Total insulin, do you have enough insulin? Is there insulin on board? Tons of factors and variables that go into it. However, something else we learned about today, we already knew about, but we're reminded of: habits, human behavior, emotional reactions. These are things that can highly impact blood sugars, and we don't usually think about them, right? So for me, I wanted my blood sugars to come up, but I was laying on the couch at the time. We were watching church virtually, and I was like, I got no rush to get these blood sugars up, so I'm gonna have chocolate and chips and slowly let it come up, and I'm gonna enjoy this food, right? Then we go on a hike, and I'm like, well, okay, it's kind of coming up. I reacted emotionally because I thought, you know what? I want it to be higher than 90 if I'm going on a hike with my family, which is all right here. Don't worry, I didn't get lost. And as a result, had some more snacks on top of what I already ate, not thinking this is a slower absorbing food, right? The chocolate has a lot of fat in it. The chips have some fat in them. I had some smoked salmon. It was delicious. The food was great, but as a result, slow absorption led me to react emotionally and say, oh my gosh, you know what? I'd rather be higher. What if I went and had some more food? As a result, went all the way up to 153 on the hike, when usually I'd like to stay a little bit lower. Typically I have more predictable blood sugars because I make more rational and logical decisions. Right now, let's see where we're at. And as you can see, the clip idea from my sister, amazing. Also great innovation by Tandem. Thank you guys for having a spare option for the pump clip, because I'm saved now, don't have to worry about vacation. So I'm at 150 right now, so it is stable and holding. A big part of that is the snack type that I had. I just had too much of it, right? My sister ended up spiking a little bit further than she would have liked. She had, again, more food than she needed. In her situation though, I wouldn't have done anything differently, right? Arrow down in the 80s, about to head out on a hike. Not trying to risk my own health just to keep perfect blood sugar levels. So if that was the position that I was in myself, I also probably would have overtreated and said, you know what, arrow down, we're gonna have a little extra to make sure. And so at the top of the mountain, well, it's a large hill. But at the top, she noticed she had arrow up at 147, didn't like the trajectory of it. I got a rock in my shoe. Didn't like where it was going, and as a result, gave a little bolus, right? She's like, you know what, even though we are hiking back down, I can tell this is gonna be really high, I don't wanna deal with it, I ate too much. So she gave a little mini correction. And just a good reminder for all of you watching today that our habits, our emotional reactions, our human behavior can also impact blood sugars on a large scale, right? Thankfully, I stopped myself from treating on top of the treat they already had. I started the hike at, I think I was 100 when we walked out the door, and it just started slowly climbing, and by the time we got out the door, I think it was 137, something like that, whatever I said in the beginning. And so keep that in mind. It's not always going to be perfect. You're not always going to be perfect, as I am not always perfect. We all make decisions every day, and those decisions have consequences, whether positive or negative. I'm going to focus on this hike because it's starting to get a bit steep, and I don't want to fall on my face on the rocks. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day. If you're ever interested in learning about what I talk about, the more detailed side of type 1 diabetes, understanding blood sugars on a deeper level, the carbs, fats, proteins, exercises, insulin on board, you need to go check out a free training that I did over at diabetesinaction.com. This is what it looks like, right? Diabetes in action, getting outside, enjoying your life, eating the foods you love, not being held back, not being restricted by diabetes. If that's you, if that's something you're interested in, Go to diabetesinaction.com right now. It's like a 30 or a 40-minute training. Goes into my formula for stable blood sugars. Goes into how I think, how I analyze my blood sugar patterns. I go into what's known as the 80-20 blood sugar formula. You're gonna wanna check that out. Go grab it, grab a notepad, take some notes, and figure out how you can take action in your life towards better, more predictable, and more stable blood sugars. Have an amazing day. I'll see you there, and keep up the fight.